Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Dave. I'm back in the flesh for another legendary video. Appreciate you guys coming through for another edition for AEW Dynamite for in-depth review. So covering for November 20th, 2024, with everything that took place in a place that is officially professional wrestling. We had so much on the card on the latest episode of Dynamite, which took aired on TBS. It was a great show that took place with everything that had concluded, lead up towards the road of Full Gear with some great action. We had tag team and women's singles action on the card from the men's and women's division, as we had Orange Cassidy taking on Willa Eula. We had Claudio Castagnoli taking on Darby Allin in a hard-hitting match. We had an 8-man tag team action of a Don Callis family taking on Mark Davis, Ricochet, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Will Ospreay in an awesome match. Usually, I'm not a fan of 8-man mass mouse matches, but they did a decent job. We had Chris Statlander taking on Hikaru Shida in decent women's action. We also had AJ, the Costco guy, making an appearance leading up towards his match at Full Gear at Final Hour towards the build-up towards Full Gear. We had Adam Cole making an appearance, baby, as he was in the house to discuss everything that had took place last week, including his obsession with MJF. We also had Chris Jericho contract signing with Himuro Ishii as he set things in motion for the Ring of Honor title match set for next week for AEW Wednesday. But we're going to go ahead and get into everything. Let's go ahead and get everything started, and let's go ahead and talk about everything that took place on AEW Dynamite. We start things off with Jon Moxley. He came out with a decent promo. It was decent for what it was. We end up having Jon Moxley, Darby Allin. They all came down as well, cutting a promo on each other. A lot of back and forth stuff. It was good promo. I enjoyed everything that took place, and there was a lot that had happened. Then we switch gears to another promo by Adam Cole. He had an interview talk as well with Kyle O'Reilly coming directly out there as well about the discussion of everything that took place with MJF and set things in motion of how things may ponder, as Kyle Fletcher left a lot of words into Adam Cole's life about how things may conclude. More importantly, where things may take place at Full Gear. But Adam Cole had a lot of thinking to think about after Kyle Fletcher had a whole lot to say. Not Kyle Fletcher, but Kyle O'Reilly had a whole lot to say and discuss and talk about things that had took place with MJF. Orange Cassidy, he talks about everything that's going to go forward for Saturday. He has an interview. He's talking along with Mark Briscoe. This was Rocky Romero, Toma Ishii, and they all talked about a whole lot that was going on with their fight, with so many different things that have been taking place with the Death Riders. More importantly, everything with their respective wishes. Orange Cassidy wants to go at this alone when it comes to Full Gear for his match against Jon Moxley, which is going to be a banger. Highly recommend for you guys to check out Full Gear. And it's going to deliver a whole lot of banger, a whole lot of things that we're going to see out of that match. Chris Statler, she ended up defeating Hikaru Shida. We end up having Mercedes Moné coming out with Camille. She ended up virtually badgering everything that took place. Of course, setting things in motion with the battle, and of course, the beatdown with everything that took place. The only thing I'm not liking about how things had took place, they're making Camille like a chump. I'm not feeling this whatsoever. I know a lot of people have voiced their opinions of how they feel about Camille. Camille should be a powerhouse similar to like Jade Cargill when she was there, going on undefeated streak, become a true dominance. But the direction they're going with her character, I'm not feeling that whatsoever. Of course, Mercedes talked about being the longest reigning TBS champion, but have we seen her much defended it? Not much. But I'm not liking her character setup as well. I feel like her weakness is her mic skills, but hopefully it gets a little bit better in the near future. When it comes to Chris Statlander, I guess they kind of got her as a face now. They kind of just not even discussed about how things were going with Stokely Hathaway, and she kind of just break ties from that. They never even talked about it of why it happened, but they're trying to make her look dominant leading up towards Full Gear. But I think that Mercedes may pick up the victory, but it's going to be interesting to see how things may take off from there. We have MVP and Sheldon Benjamin tried to get the jump on what they thought was Swerve Strickland, but it ended up being somebody else who they ended up leaving left out and battered and bruised as they're trying to set him up, but things didn't go to that situation. We got the vignette play for Adam Cole, not Adam Page and Jay White. I look forward to seeing that Full Gear match. That match is going to be a not a sleeper. Highly recommend for you guys to see that match at Full Gear. It's going to be a banger. Then we get ready for Bobby Lashley making his AEW in-ring debut as he took on Cheeseburger, who's making his return back to AEW programming, along with Joe Keys. And they lost in a squash match. Bobby Lashley was looking dominant, poised as ever. Got the victory not only with the Dominator, as well as the Hurt Lock to take out Cheeseburger and Joe Keys and show his dominance. Where things got more intriguing was where Swerve Strickland actually got the jump on the Hurt Syndicate and pretty much set them all up. Prince Nana was at the ramp when Swerve music was hitting. He had a chair, he was banging it. Shelton Benjamin went chasing after him. More importantly, MVP was looking for him in the crowd on the outside with his cane, but Swerve was under the ring, came directly from under the ring, and attacked Bobby Lashley from behind. Not only did he get him really good, he got him with the house call, but he also got him with the Swerve stomp to send a message like he's the most dangerous man in AEW, and he's looking to take out Bobby Lashley. More importantly, he delivered a great message. Claudio Castagnoli defeated Darby Allin in a hard-hitting match. I mean, everything about this match was pen to paper like, man, this was rough. From the bumps to the spots, Claudio was throwing Darby around from every single way to another way. Why isn't Darby Allin in the top spot? He is. He's going to be the one that's going to dethrone Jon Moxley. More important, Claudio needs to be in an upper tier as being a world champion as well. It spoke volume in this match, and I enjoyed everything to the course of everything that took place. But I look forward to seeing those two clash again in the near future. It's great chemistry, but Darby really was taking some serious bumps tonight. We had Private Party who featured in the segment with AJ Boom and Big Justice. It was okay. It wasn't a sleeper, but it was all right segment. We had MJF with a vignette. He calls Roderick Strong, and more importantly, talks about everything that's going to take place at Full Gear. More importantly, about everything that will happen when it comes to their match. He talks about Roderick Strong's father, how his mother shot him, and so much more. He got real deep in that situation. It was okay vignette, but did it hit home? Could have been home run, but I think it was a foul ball from that point when it came to what MJF really can do as a true promo. Roderick Strong, he cuts a promo as well. He goes in circles about talking about everything that actually took place, but he looks forward to beating MJF, but it's not convincing. But I look forward to seeing what initially will happen when they go to battle. Then we show footage of Daniel Garcia and Danny Magic torturing Jack Perry after abducting him last Saturday on Collision, and Garcia took the crowbar to the scapegoat's wagon. And, of course, Jack Perry spit it in his face, and they walk off, apparently leaving him tied to a chair in the middle of nowhere. I guess they're wanting to get that match set up for next week, but they're going to continue to try to push the envelope to get that TNT championship of Daniel Garcia versus no other than Jack Perry. Then we get the Tomohiro Ishii and Chris Jericho. They're having a contract signing. They started off backstage and led to a low-speed chase, but through the whole situation of the arena, they eventually ended the brawl between the Collaboration and the Learning Tree in the ring after everything broke down. It was an okay setup, and they were going to get that match set up for next week on Wednesday for Dynamite. Ishii is somebody you don't want to sleep on, but Jericho is no stranger to him. But Jericho's new character, is it getting over? I think a lot of people are kind of like falling asleep on that whole situation, but hopefully it gets better over time. But we shall see what ends up happening afterwards leading towards Full Gear. Then we get to Jamie Hayter. She gives an addressment about the situation that was going to give her situation was going to happen next. She was interrupted by Julia Hart. Loved the vignette More and more, they're really putting the home run on her vignettes, and it's looking really good. She was the true face of AEW when it came to everything all the way through 2023, leading to her becoming the AEW TBS champion. More importantly, this is a redemption for Julia Hart, but more importantly, I look forward to seeing those ladies clash. As you know, this is not going to be something you want to sleep on. It's the return of Julia Hart. More importantly, she's one of my favorites. And I look forward to seeing Jamie Hayter as well doing her thing. And then when those ladies do come face to face and they lock horns, it's not going to be a cat fight. It's going to be real wrestling. We're going to have Orange Cassidy, who defeated Willow Yuya in a decent match, a lot of back and forth. They both put on a great clinic. Kept us highly invested. Orange Cassidy really sold himself by getting the victory. Post-match, Death Riders came out the ring. They duct taped Cassidy's hands that are in his pockets, but then laid him out, and the conversation came out to untie him to run off the Death Riders, which I wouldn't have ever thought I would have seen. But the situation was good for what it was in the main event, and I enjoyed majority of it. It was good. Overall, my full opinion about how things are taking place with Full Gear, this was a really great show. This was one of the better shows that they really have put together and produced. More importantly, Full Gear is looking good for everything that will be taking place for all the matches on the card. Hopefully you guys will be in attendance to be able to watch that show or even buy the pay-per-view as well. Until the next episode, you guys stay live, stay fresh, and until then, you guys be safe. Peace.